and welcome to this week's episode of the Northern Ireland Women's Football Show with me, Jana McCabe. Today I'm delighted to be joined by Tualaith Murtagh and Jana McMaster. Thank you both for joining me today. Jane, you're well underway in pre-season. How's it been going so far?
It's been good, yeah. We had a few sessions before Christmas and then went in full blast in January and started last week into running and stuff to get us more fit, so looking forward to it.
Glad to be back, or a bit difficult to get back?
Yeah, definitely. It was a good break off. I'm glad there's a bit of a change now for pre-season than it has been before, so it's a good change, I think. So yeah, I'm pretty happy at the minute, yeah.
When you say that change, is it kind of the manager that's come in and that's why it's changed, or what do you mean by that?
Yeah, just everything changes, new players, just sort of new trainings and different aspects of training, which has been it's a good change rather than doing the same thing. But yeah, it's been good sort of to get a different aspect on things, yeah.
And those fresh faces, hoping that that'll help you go into the season, do a bit better this year?
Yeah, definitely. I've made a good few signings, so hopefully they'll be able to strengthen us all around the pitch and just hopefully we can get a bit better for this season.
Tualaith, your pre-season going okay as well?
Yeah, pre-season's underway. I'm their fitness coach of the Ravens, so they're all hating me at the minute. I have them all doing all the fitness, trying to get them fit. We've had a few pre-season friendlies and stuff, so we can see the improvements already, so we're really looking forward to a big season ahead, hopefully.
What's it like being that fitness coach and having to teach girls that you kind of play alongside?
It's all right. Most of them are keen and they love getting involved and they're very grateful for it. Throughout the sessions, they do call me every name under the sun, to be honest. But then after, I normally get a thanks for that. So it all goes well, and they appreciate it on match day when they can last a full 90 minutes. So.
Do you just kind of bank what they've all called you, and then you could be like, I must get revenge and make her do 10 extra press-ups and her an extra lap?
Well, it's actually burpees is their downfall. So I normally, when they call me a name, I'll be like, I'll remember that next week, 10 extra burpees for you.
So what you're saying is now that I need to be careful what I say, or I'm going to have to do some burpees, and Jane, you're right beside her, so you need to be careful as well.
Absolutely. Them stairs that we came up and down, off you go.
With the studio we're in, we come in with 2 footballers every week, and I'm struggling to get up this 4 flights of stairs, and they all make it look easy. So just showing how unfit I am, but I still beat Rachel in the crossbar challenge. And you mentioned it earlier. Jane mentioned it, so sorry, Rachel. Jane, what about you? When it comes to training and stuff, how tough is it to get through pre-season? You know, when you don't have games every so often, they're quite spread out.
It is tough, especially just sort of getting back into it after having the break since the last season. But once you do your running and stuff, you do feel a lot better afterwards. So I think that when the next week comes, you're like, I felt better last week, so I'll just push a bit harder because you know it's benefit for the next season when there's matches and stuff. You actually feel like you can do it for longer.
What about those pre-season games? How have they been?
I've only had one friendly, and there's hopefully a few more coming up in the next few weeks in March. So hopefully we'll get stuck into them just to make sure we're ready.
Certainly going to come around quickly, I think April, and it'll be back and up and running.
Yeah, definitely. It sort of went flying, to be honest with you. I thought there'd be a long pre-season, but it's nearly halfway done, I think, now. And then the All-Ireland Cup will be coming even sooner, so we don't have that long, to be honest, to get ready.
Tualaith, kind of same with you. Do you feel like pre-season's gone quite quickly and you're kind of just round the corner from the start of the season?
Absolutely. I think pre-season flies in. It goes far too quick. Although in saying that, our coaches are very good at lining up a lot of pre-season friendlies, so we do get a lot of game practice and match practice in and trying to play together as a team. We have 3 teams, so trying to get everybody to gel with the people that ideally they will be playing with throughout the season. That kind of helps it throughout the pre-season, to be fair.
And because you've got so many teams, I'm sure there's a lot of new people kind of coming in, season to season. Has there been some this season?
So we've actually had a massive 27 new signings this season for across the 3 teams. Now, in saying that, and I'm sure the Ravens won't mind me saying this, in the winter you do find that you do get a lot more uptake and everybody's available and everybody wants to play, and then as soon as the weather picks up and summer holidays and everything else, you do find that availability kind of drops. But yeah, at the minute we've 27 new signings.
Jane, Linfield can really, we were talking about they've had quite a few signings, 27, come on, you need to catch up here. Do you get your recruitment hat on, start recruiting on the street now?
Not that many anyway for us, not yet anyway.
And Tualaith, you said about merging with those girls and getting to know those girls you'll be playing with when the season starts. Just how difficult is that with 27 new signings?
It is quite difficult, and I am absolutely diabolical at remembering people's names, so that's probably the hardest part of it. But at the minute we're training, we have Tuesday nights, Wednesday nights, fitness on Thursdays, and normally matches on a Sunday. Last Sunday there was 2 matches back to back, so it is giving all the girls a chance to merge with each other, and the Ravens is like known, and it is fantastic for their social aspect. We all socialise together, we're all one big family, and we all go out and do activities outside of football together, which then also helps everybody have that real bond and real connection before the season even starts.
As you said, there seems to be a nice wee bond in the Ravens, and you kind of see it all over social media, but that must be a real confidence boost that 27 people have signed up for the new season.
Absolutely it is, and if you ask the 27 of them, a lot of them will say it is for the social aspect. It is such a social environment, and we are, I know that sounds so cheesy to say that we are one big family, but we are. Like, even recently, no matter what we do, like me and our first captain done a charity event, there was loads of us done a cycle around Ireland, and the whole club gets behind you when you do something like that, which is incredible, and I think that really shines through and is a real selling point for the club.
And what about that kind of community aspect in Linfield? You've been there for a while now, I'm sure you feel it too.
Oh yeah, definitely. I would say we're probably the same. We're like one big family. We do stuff together outside of football. It makes this a lot easier when it's on the pitch and you know each other, you're all friends. There's no fallings out or anything like that, so it's quite good. Like,
as you kind of get, I'm saying older, but you're kind of similar enough age to me. As you get older, does that help that you've kind of known those guys growing up and you know you're kind of moving on together?
Yeah, definitely. There's been a good few of us there. I've been there for a few years, and I've played even with the under-19s and internationally, so we've been friends for a long time. It has helped that you're sort of bringing them along with you, sticking together. So I think if we keep doing that, we'll hopefully get better as well as a team. You
mentioned there on the international front, you play with them. Does that make it easier or harder that you're kind of seeing them with your club and then internationally too? Are you sick of them? You can't really say that on camera. You're not going to say yes.
No, definitely not. It brings you a lot closer together. Like, most of my friends are just football friends, to be honest, and that's just what I spend my time doing. If I'm going to go out, I would go out with my football friends, but they're not even football friends, they're just friends now. So yeah, I do love seeing them, so I do.
That's a good answer. I'm sure they'll be happy hearing that you didn't say no, don't want to see them anymore. We're going to take a short break, and speaking of internationals, this is the final filming before Northern Ireland's next game, and look who's returned but Rachel McGill, after her crossbar defeat, is back with us, and she'll tell us how she thinks that game will get on.
Northern Ireland women are set to face Montenegro in the Women's Nations League playoff. The tie will take place over 2 matches, with the first game being away to Montenegro. The second game will take place at the National Football Stadium at Windsor Park. Northern Ireland women began their Nations League journey in Group 1 of League B, facing the Republic of Ireland, Hungary and Albania. Playing every team in the group home and away, Northern Ireland played 6 matches. Their first match saw a record-breaking attendance at the Aviva Stadium in Dublin against the Republic of Ireland. Tanya Oxtoby's side accumulated 7 points across the group campaign, with 2 wins over Albania and a draw with Hungary. This sees the team finish third in the group. Montenegro women began their Nations League campaign in Group 3 of League C. They had a successful campaign, finishing second in the group with 12 points, with a total of 4 wins. Their 2 losses came against the top of the group, Azerbaijan. Northern Ireland women and Montenegro women will now go head-to-head in the Nations League playoffs, with a spot in League B at stake. The winner of the playoffs will be in League B for the European qualifying phase, while the losing side will be in League C. Tanya Oxtoby has named a strong 23-player squad for the playoffs. Returning to the squad is Kelsey Burrows after not featuring in the December international due to outside commitments. Goalkeeper Lauren Perry also returns to the Northern Ireland squad after an extended period. The 22-year-old has faced a range of knee injuries and now returns under Oxtoby management. She is currently playing for Scottish Women's Premier League side Montrose, where she has been named in the League Team of the Week on multiple occasions. Reading's Rachel Dugdale, formerly Newborough, returns to the Northern Ireland squad. The defender has not featured in Northern Ireland squad since September 2020 and has made 24 appearances for the national team. Good luck to the Northern Ireland squad in their playoff matches against Montenegro.
Thank you, Rachel, for that. It'll be exciting to see how the girls in green and white get on, and we will definitely be talking about it at the next show. Tuala, I have to ask you, now that we've done the pre-season talk, you're not that long off Gladiators aired last week. How was the experience? Has it all kind of sunk in yet?
I still don't think it has sunk in. It was definitely the most, like, to say it was surreal is 100% an understatement. Watching it on the TV, like, we filmed that back on the 5th of June, and I've had to keep it a secret since. So then seeing it on the TV, I was sitting thinking, is that me? Like, is that actually me on the TV? And the response from it's been absolutely incredible. We've had a few girls message into both myself and the Ravens page saying it's nice that their daughter's playing the NIWFA, and it's nice to know that they have a role model out there to look up to. That's like incredible to hear things like that. So it's definitely way beyond surreal.
The 5th of June though, like, I can hardly remember what I did last week, never mind something that I did last summer. How do you kind of watch it being like, oh, kind of forgot that happened or anything like that?
Do you know what? I had like a sieve. Like, I have such a bad memory, and Gladiators is the one thing. Every single thing that someone said to me on that show and every single thing that happened has stuck in my mind. Like, that was a dream come true. So things like that you don't kind of forget, I don't think. Not yet, anyway.
I'll bring you on in a year's time and we'll see how we can rewatch it on the screen and see how much you remember.
You'll see me in a nursing home in years to come on my Gladiators.
And you said there about being that role model. That must fill you with so much confidence that, you know, that people are messaging with so much support, because it was all over my social media.
It is. It's been absolute, like to hear things like that. Like, I have 2 nieces and a nephew, but my oldest niece is 13, and she was at the filming, and I was told by my sister-in-law that I was a role model for her. And then again, which is lovely to hear, but to hear that from strangers who don't know me from Adam, to hear that I'm a role model for their kids is a pretty incredible thing to hear.
I can safely say I was watching it on Saturday. I had never, watched Gladiators, and I watched it and I was like, go on. Obviously I'd never met you before, but I was like, girl from Belfast, yeah, brownie points for me here. But yeah, it's the NIWFA as well, the amount of support they give you, it just kind of shows, you said about communities in your club, but also as like a whole, it's crazy.
Well, that's it, the whole community, the whole football community, women's football, but just in general, I think Northern Ireland and Belfast are fantastic with getting behind their own across everything, across all sports, anything on TV, and they have been really supportive across all avenues, and it's great to see, even having people in the street who again don't know you. They're like, oh, I was watching, you done brilliant. Like, you just don't get that for anything else, and it is pretty cool.
Jane, this is where the two of you could fall out. Did you watch it?
I did, yes.
Go on, yeah. Tell your opinions.
Oh yeah, I thought it was great. It was good to see someone from here just sort of showing what we can do over here as well. And you did really well against them, to be fair.
Thank you.
So you're going to be following their footsteps and go in a couple of years?
Oh, yeah, maybe.
She's actually signed up to PT, and I'm going to get her ready for next season.
So just on those stairs alone, you'll be ready for Gladiators. Do you know what? We could, we could train you on those stairs and we'll send you off next season.
You never know.
Gladiators, people that scout, be watching for Jane here. And about that experience now, it's kind of a week on since the filming of it. What was it like whenever you knocked the Gladiator off the podium bit? It must have been unreal. Can you describe that even?
No. So that girl that I went up against, she is like an Olympic lifter. She's like a power lifter, has all sorts of world titles and stuff. So I was thinking, I'm very competitive, and I thought, I'm going to get embarrassed here. I'm going to last all of about 5 seconds, and I'm going to be absolutely red with embarrassment. And then turns out the tables turned, and she lasted 5 seconds. And everyone was like, oh, look at your wee dance moves. I was like, I think it was just all the excitement coming out. I was like, yes.
But even before that event, I was saying to my boyfriend at the time, being like, this is the hardest one. Like, it looks like, because I'd anything kind of clips I'd seen, or like anything my gran and granda told me about Gladiators, that was the one that kind of like nobody had ever kind of beaten a Gladiator that season so far, had they?
No. So even in the old seasons, like, no one ever knocks that. Like, that is a Gladiators event. And then podiums shake like mad, which you don't see on TV. They're so wobbly. So I was thinking, I'm definitely going to follow this, but no one ever knocks them off, so it was a proud moment, I must say.
Nobody else in that season did the rest of the season, have they? No, it's just kind of
not yet anyway.
Unreal. Yeah, well, we'll soon see. I'm just hoping now nobody else does it, just for you, so you can say. And what about that wall? That was another one that seemed petrifying for me, for somebody who's obviously not fit enough to be doing that kind of thing.
That was, my hands were very sweaty after that. So I think if you watch the show, you've seen the Gladiator whispering in my ear. So she was shouting, or not shouting, but she was whispering. She was saying, run little girl, run little girl. So I was like, oh my God, I need to get up this wall quickly before she catches me. So again, can you see my excitement at the top of that one? I'm thinking, yes, I've done it, I've beat a Gladiator. So it was pretty cool.
Jane, take note, you have to practice dance moves for whenever you beat a Gladiator. What do you reckon? If you were to go on it, what do you think your best event would be?
I don't know. I don't actually know. It's a bit of a hard one. I don't mind maybe the running up the hill one maybe. You know, like, do you know what I mean? What one was that called?
Is that was one
I'm sorry, no. I don't know. I don't think I'd be good at, I don't think I'd be any good at the other ones that you were good at though. I definitely wouldn't be good at the podium one. I would just fall off before anyone even was on the other side.
It's the one that was kind of 30 feet up in the air, you know, the one that was kind of, I was thinking I would literally lose my balance and fall through one of the things, like just kind of be lying there.
Yeah, that
like.
was a real fear. I did think that might happen. The podiums are only about that wide as well. They're not very wide to be running across.
They're hard enough without any gladiators.
Exactly. Some scary person running towards me. I would have just jumped myself. I'd be like, you know what? Don't want to come near me.
She's an England rugby international, so I kind of thought I either run away from her or get rugby tackled off by her. I don't know which one I'd prefer to do. So I think that's why I kind of just went for it.
Are they intimidating, the gladiators? Or were you just kind of like, they're being in character, I need to stay in my kind of focus in character?
Oh no, they are intimidating. Like, they're all world-class athletes. They're all top of their game, and TV doesn't do them justice. They're massive. Like, they are pure muscle, and very, very tall. They make me look like a little dwarf. So yeah, they are intimidating to go against.
I don't know how you did it, to be honest. I'm sure you're so proud of yourself, and now the kind of dust has settled and that you can talk about it. I'm sure you'll be, as you said, in a nursing home in years, and hopefully many, many years talking about it. We're going to take a short break here in the studio and catch up with Rachel Barlow as she tells us what's been happening here in Northern Ireland in the football world.
It goes without saying that it's been a busy few months in terms of transfers in women's football. Now, how could I not start with the biggest news? Of course, that is of Sion Swift's withdrawal from the Women's Premiership for the 2024 season. In a statement, they announced that they look forward to participating in the NIWFA and will remain committed to the development of the club. Sion Swifts ended up coming fourth in the Women's Premiership last season, notably making it to the League Cup final where they fell to a 3-1 defeat against Cliftonville. I'm sure I'm not the only one to say that they'll be sad to see this club not compete in the Women's Premiership this season. On the topic of Sion Swifts, players from the Strabane side have been busy moving to new homes. First up, we had under-19 Northern Ireland international Naomi McLaughlin, who made the move to Solitude as she joined Cliftonville last month. Her technical ability in midfield will be sure to benefit the Belfast side this season, as they hope to regain their title. Next up, moving from Sion Swifts to Linfield, there was a double move of Naomi Donnan and Cora Chambers. Having played together at their former club, I'm sure these two will link up well for the Blues. Donnan has already had a spell with the Belfast side, and I'm sure she was welcomed back with open arms. Linfield have also announced the signing of highly sought after former Lisburn Rangers striker Eve Riley. After winning the Irish Cup Golden Boot and obtaining promotion to the Premiership with the Lisburn side last year, I'm sure a Northern Ireland under-19 player will be looking forward to slotting in the goals for a new club. The departure of Zoe McGlynn and Kelly Compton from Sion Swifts sees them both move to League of Ireland side Sligo Rovers. Hopefully we get to see these guys play as the All-Ireland Cup returns very soon. Derry City snapped up Kirsty Doherty last month as she also left the Swifts. The speedy right winger will add pace to the Derry side as they hope to climb further up the table this season after a tense friendly against Crusaders which ended up 2-1 in their favour. Ex-St James Swift player Claire Shaw made the move to Cliftonville to Crusader strikers recently. The natural goal scorer came through the North Belfast side's youth team and was part of their first team squad that won the league in 2012. I'm sure she'll play a big part in the team this year as they hope to get their hands on some silverware.
Thank you, Rachel, for that. It's obviously sad news that Sion have pulled out of the Premiership. Jane, Linfield have kind of benefited from it if they've got Naomi and Cora. What have they been like so far in training?
Really good. They're both very good players. Hopefully Naomi will help us defensively, and then Cora can hopefully get a few goals. She's a good goal scorer and striker. Alongside Eve, we've got Eve Riley from Lisburn Rangers. She's also a good striker, so hopefully we can get a few goals out of them for this season.
Sion's a team that you obviously have played against. It's never nice to see a team have to withdraw.
Yeah, they were a good side. To be honest, it is sad to see because it won't be very good for the league having them not be in it anymore. But the players have sort of went to different teams throughout the league and down south, so at least they'll haven't went to one team. They've spread themselves out, should hopefully help the other teams in the league as well, strengthen up a wee bit.
Till in the NIWFA, there's a bit more of a change, and like teams go up, teams go down. Is it hard to adjust seasons from like having new teams in and like them going up or going down? Like, how do you adjust it all, like different teams you're playing against?
It's very hard to keep up with the league and the NIWFA. We're actually waiting on the league structure coming out at the minute. But you never really know what to expect. People get promoted that, like we came, and I'm talking about us here, we came third, not the season or the season before. We came sixth, in Division 3 and got promoted into Division 2. So you never know where you're going to end up. So we're very eagerly waiting for our 3 teams on the league restructure coming out to find out where we're going to be.
What leagues are you anticipating being? What were you in last year?
So last year, our first were Division 2, our seconds were Division 5, and our thirds were in the Development League because they were only a new team. So I'm not sure who'll go up, who'll go down. Who knows?
Exciting. Yeah, we'll just put it in like a wee insert and be like, this is where they ended up.
Hopefully it'll be, we're patiently waiting. It's due to be released any day, so hopefully.
And it's not going to be long until that launch day and you get to see all the other teams and, you know, meet everybody.
I know. I was looking forward for launch day actually. Now I try and dip out of it because there's a lot of photographs involved in launch day.
This year you'll have to be there and there'll be, I'm sure, loads of photographs taken of you.
More to add to the collection.
And Jane, obviously you won't be at our NIWFA launch day, but I'm sure you'll be at the Premiership launch.
Yeah, it'll be hopefully good to get ready for the season, see what it's going to be like.
Who are you nervous for this year? Obviously there's new teams, Lisburn Rangers have come up. They're going to be a tough team to play against.
Yeah, I think they'll be a good enough side, just alongside then Cliftonville and Glentoran and the usual ones, and Crusaders always give us a good go, but hopefully as we've got a few new players and we've had a good pre-season, so hopefully we will get ourselves ready, just get ready for a good season hopefully.
You mentioned there you've strengthened your squad. Kind of a lot of teams, maybe I'm just kind of paying more attention, but it feels like a lot of signings have happened everywhere. It was really nice to see the league kind of growing. Yeah, there's been a few changes all around, to be fair, which is good because it's better than having the same team, same players every year playing against each other. So I think it'd be a good change just to have a bit of a mix-up, yeah. And you mentioned earlier on about how your kind of whole life is football, and it was international as well. At the minute you can't play international because you're, here we go, too old. Is that that's something you're used to, being called too old? That must be difficult for you not to be playing all the time with the Northern Ireland team anymore. Yeah, just football is pretty much my life, yeah. So what I call it, I'm too old now for the under-19s, where I was there most nights of the week and going away in camps, which I really enjoyed. But yeah, so there's after under-19s just the seniors, so there's no under-21s or under-23s, which is a wee bit disappointing, to be honest. There's too much of a gap, to be honest, for our players my age, and there's even ones older than me. They just sort of get left out unless you're in the senior team, and obviously everyone can't just go straight from 19s to seniors, but I'll just keep working away on my club football and hopefully a time comes where I can join the senior team. We talked about how much women's football is growing in Northern Ireland. Is that kind of something that needs to grow further and get that under 21s and 23s in? Yeah, I think so. Like most, I think England and Scotland all have an under 21s and stuff, so I think we're just a wee bit behind, but hopefully it'll happen soon enough. Even if it's not just for me, just for the younger girls, because it is too much of a gap. But yeah, hopefully it'll happen soon. You mentioned there that you'll continue with your club football. I'm sure you'll be making quite the impression and hopefully get that senior shirt on you soon. Yeah, hopefully I'll try my hardest anyway, what I call it, just give all I can for the seasons and next season and so on, just to try and show that I deserve to be there. But yeah, I'll just keep working away. And there's been a couple of people that are kind of the same age as you that have broken into the senior squad and kind of made a name for themselves. Does that give you motivation to also kind of be like them and push on and, you know, be that person that everybody has their name on the back of their shirt? Yeah, definitely. It's good to see ones my age given the chance, but hopefully just me and maybe hopefully myself and a few more others would be good to see more younger ones coming up just to join, make the team a wee bit younger and just a wee bit more life, yeah. Until as the season kind of approaches, what are your goals at Belfast Ravens this year?
My personal goal is to get the team as fit as they possibly can. They'll not like hearing that. But yeah, just to, like I said, we've had a lot of new signings, so just to develop every season, we'll set a little target of where we want to finish in the league, and every year it's a wee bit higher than the year before. So we'll do the same this year, working at getting better as a team, working together, like we always say work for the player next to you, which obviously helps with our social because we are really close. Then you do want to put in that extra bit of effort, so our coach Jimmy always says give it an extra 5%, and that's what we'll go for this year.
Going to use some of the tactics of the Gladiators maybe when you're doing your coaching, you know, be going run little girl behind people and like psyching them out.
You never know, I might do. On that back line, I like to just run people off the ball, so maybe it'll come in useful. If I can run a Gladiator off the edge, then maybe I can run a defender off or a striker off the ball.
That must give you a bit more confidence of going into this season that you're kind of like, I beat a Gladiator, you're going to be easy work. No?
I wouldn't say easy work.
I'm giving you confidence, come on, take it.
Some of them Gladiators are less scary than going up against some of the teams that we play in the NIWFA, but no, it's setting us in good stead for the season ahead, and I think it's given everybody a bit of confidence.
And Jane, what about you? What are your goals for the year at Linfield?
Hopefully just to maybe push up the league ladder a wee bit, maybe get us in, well, I'd obviously like to get first place, but it's going to be a hard task for us, but just try and win as many matches and keep a few clean sheets hopefully as possible, yeah.
And get silverware maybe through one of the cups or something?
Yeah, definitely. We've sort of missed out the last few years' seasons, even getting into any finals or something, so I think just to get to a final would really just sort of give us that like achievement, sort of, just that we've actually achieved something, so and then hopefully we could get a bit of silverware by the end of the season, yeah.
Sure, that would be an experience that you would really like, you know, as you kind of get a bit more advanced as a player, to get into a final and, you know, play in that kind of atmosphere, because the cups are just growing and growing, and there's a lot of people going to them now. Yeah,
definitely. There's a lot more increase in fans and crowds, and even there's younger girls coming to watch. It really makes you feel like you should be getting into finals and stuff to show them that they can be like us, hopefully, one day, what I call it. So hopefully try and get a few finals and try and win a trophy, yeah.
And Tualaith, you're also hoping that maybe the crowds will come to the NIWFA games a bit more, and you might be seeing as much support as you got at the Gladiators?
I mean, if 4,500 people turned up to watch the Belfast Ravens, I'd be shocked. But yeah, no, hopefully we all have really good supportive friends and families that would all come watch anyway, but across the whole, like, we go to watch the Premiership games and stuff, and the crowds are getting more and more each time, which is fantastic to see. The growth in women's football is fantastic over here. Obviously there's a lot of work that still needs into it with the likes of the under 21s and 23s, but seeing the support, like I said, especially from young girls and stuff, is brilliant.
Do the people that were at Gladiators supporting you specifically, obviously a lot of them play with you, but the other ones, do they go to your games and stuff as well and watch you?
Yeah, absolutely. We all go to each other's games, so even at the minute, like if we have two games on the same day, the girls that play in the 2 o'clock game will come to the 6 o'clock game, and vice versa, the ones of us that are playing at 6 o'clock will go to the 2 o'clock game, so we are really supportive of each other, which is nice.
That'll be handy if the season ahead, that you can kind of go to the other team's games and be like, watch out for that number 9 and watch out for that girl.
I know, but it happens the same with us. Unfortunately, I have red hair, so I normally stand out, so they'll say watch out for her, but yeah, we all look out for each other.
I'm excited to see how the two of you get on this season, and hopefully you'll be sitting here at the end of the season with some silverware to show me.
Hopefully.
Yeah,
Thank you so much for having us.
Yeah, thank you both for joining me, and that is it for this week's episode of the Northern Ireland Women's Football Show. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, bye from me.